Hello everybody, welcome to Tidepool Alpha 2 Release Candidate 1. Yes, at long last, nearly 4 months, we have the new Alpha. And most of it works. We still have some bugs to fix, which is what the release candidate is for. But there's enough to show you what's going on. First off, see how we rewired the grid. Each one of these colored squares is a parcel, which corresponds to a hectare. The whole thing is a square kilometer. So all of these parcels are owned by individual people, and they're laid out so we have our board right here and our advisors here, and then on the outside we have 4 kids, 4 kids, 4 kids, 4 kids, which correspond to the kids in our Kismet Club, the classes that we're holding right now. And then the remaining corners here are for the rest of our shakedown team. And then everybody else is in our alpha team who are testing the product right now. Let's take a look and see what kind of things have changed. So a bunch of things that we won't necessarily show. One thing that is buggy, and I can't show it during this video, but is really cool, is that I took the original Crowther & Woods Colossal Cave Adventure data file and parsed it to create a story that you can explore and illustrate within Tidepool. So hopefully that'll be done in time. Alright, Windows finally finished updating. So alright, so let's go into Tidepool. Now this version is live on the server right now. So we're connecting to Europa, our dedicated box. And here we are inside Tidepool. So, what's new? Well, I'd say the biggest thing that is new is what's called the action bar. So for now, you right-click on an item and it brings up the action bar, which allows you to do various different things to it. So, for example, melting it. Wait, I have to go back to my home, so let's go back there. Alright, this is my home parcel. You can also see where you are by looking at this map, which is basically a scrollable version of what I was showing before. You can see that I'm right here. This will get much, much better. Alright, so let's bring up that action bar. We can melt it. Now there's a quick way to melt things. You can just simply double click on something. Skips the action bar. So what else can you do? Well, you can move things. So when I click move, you see that my cursor has turned into a little tree and I can move it over here. So that's pretty nifty. You can also cast a new one straight from it. So you can put one over here. So this is basically duplicate. I'll talk about touch in a little bit. This is the way to edit its properties, so if I wanted to double the size of this puppy. And we've added a paint command, so I can now open this up in the paint canvas. And this seems to be a bug right here. I'm not exactly sure why, but this bottom part here isn't working. But I could make changes here and save it, which I don't feel like doing for this one. But this allows you to change your sketches. Okay, let's see. I think I have everything. Oh, okay. So the play controls. That's something that's new. Here, let's go in, and I'm going to do a simple animation and fill it in. Make a new frame. Make a new frame. Now another thing that I did, which is quite nifty, is that we have these original Crayola colors here, but you can right click on a color and choose from the whole 120 set. So if I want to say this one here, and then that turns that into that. So that's pretty nifty. Okay, so let's get some animation going. And I'll just click OK. Alright, so there you see our animation, and it is going like gangbusters right from the get-go. But you can change the mode that this happens in. So if I bring up the action bar, I can pause it. So now that's paused the animation. And the next thing is what's called touch. So I click on touch, and now it only does the animation when I move the cursor over it. So this allows you to make the screen less busy but still have a fun little animation that plays. If we do it one more time, then it is in full play mode. So I'm going to pause it. Alright, what else have we got? We got the play toggle. Now, not only moving, but you can also place items from the roster. So if I wanted to make a new tea tree, I right-click on this as before, but instead of just showing up right in front of you, it turns into a cursor and allows me to place it wherever I want. Okay, what else have we got? Roster look and warp. Okay, you can't really see it because I don't have anything open. I could open up somebody else, but basically what you do is when there's other players in the game, if you right-click on their name, you'll look at them, and if you double-click on them, you actually warp to them. So it's a quick transport. This was the biggest one, get multiplayer working with all tasks. That one really took a long time to do. I rewired the grid. There's no center square anymore. Now it's an even kilometer. We also have some smaller things, such as look text. When you go into a scene, you can specify the text that shows up, so it's just kind of like a storybook narrative. And we also have wallpaper, which is kind of cool. When you make a wall, you can right-click and paint it, and then make the wall look like anything you draw. And lastly, you have connect, which allows you to specify whether or not a build thing gets connected on all four sides. So if you do four and then you just simply say path, then it'll do 3 walls. If you do connect, it does 4 walls. So that's it for now, and the next video will be a getting started guide for Tidepool Alpha 2. Thanks for listening.